Welcome to the Money Down. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us once again for another episode, man. I know it's kind of like that gray area in football season between the combine and the draft, but there's still stuff going on. Guys signing extensions, still some late free agent signings. There are still some very talented players still available. A guy like Tyreek Hill. I think people kind of forget he's a free agent. But before we get into all that, man, I want to say salute to Lavonte David.
Gangster.
Very, very on his retirement. Very, very talented football player. 14 years in the NFL, all for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a guy who's from South Florida, like where I'm from. Got to compete against him when he played in Nebraska. I never got to play against him in high school, but knew a lot about him. I mean, a pro's pro, brings that hard, had that linebacker position, can cover, can stop the run, can do whatever you need him to do at that position. One of my most memorable moments from him playing in the NFL is when they played against the Chiefs in 2020 in that Super Bowl. He took on the role of guarding Travis Kelce pretty much that entire game, and that's tough for any linebacker to take on that responsibility against one of the greatest tight ends ever to play this game, especially in this generation. For him at linebacker to take that onus to guard that guy, probably almost 70% of the time in the game, man to man, that's a hard responsibility. But that's the type of teammate that he is, type of linebacker that he is, the type of player that he is, the type of leader that he is. I know he got pretty emotional during his, retirement press conference today, talking about his family, talking about how he grew up, talking about, having a daughter and everything, man. Much respect to him. Like I said, a pro's pro. If you want to model your game after, one of the current generational, linebackers, man, that is one of the perfect guys you can look after. I got a lot of respect for that dude. Like I never got to play against him in the NFL. I think the one time I played the Bucs, he was hurt, so that was unfortunate. I didn't get to battle against him, but like I said, I always watched from afar. Even once I retired, he was still playing, so I always kept my eye on what he was doing because got a lot of respect for dudes like that, man. I don't know if y'all got anything to say about Lavonte.
Man, I remember watching him when he was at Nebraska, right? Bruh, killer, dog. I mean, all over the field. You talking about a linebacker that'll play sideline to sideline, running down just about anybody, gap filler, will cover one of your best receivers, always matched up against your best tight end, cover your running back out the backfield and blank them. I mean, you talking about a guy that just does just about everything. Great NFL career. Obviously there's a reason that he stayed in Tampa for so long because of what he did. He got drafted by Tampa too, didn't he?
Yep.
You've been there the whole time. Yeah. I mean, you don't, and James, I mean, you're not going to say it, but you were great at your craft, which is what kept you in New England for 10 years, right? To be in one place for so long means you're dang good at your job. And so for him to be there for 14 seasons, I mean, just hats off to him and just proves, the work that he put in and how good he was.
Yeah, I mean, he finishes his career as the 7th leading tackler in NFL history. 1,716 tackles. The guys ahead of him, Ray Lewis, London Fletcher, Bobby Wagner, Junior Seau, Jesse Tuggle, Zach Thomas. I mean, you're talking about the greatest of greats. And, I mean, Warren, you mentioned his time at Nebraska. Obviously, I watched him a lot in Nebraska as well, just watching Big Ten football in that era. Some really good battles between Wisconsin and Nebraska. But even though he wasn't the biggest guy at middle linebacker, I felt like he never missed a tackle. And that's what always stood out to me was that he was able to cover so much ground, but still be an effective tackler in the run game, especially even going against bigger backs, right? Taking down guys like, a Monty Ball, a John Clay in college. And then when you get to the NFL level, it always felt like he was, not going to miss a tackle. And that is something that you need out of your linebackers. Yeah, he had that crazy versatility as well. Someone I always really enjoyed playing. But, I wanted to jump off something that Warren said right here was, he stayed with one team for 14 years. And I think that James, like, you well know, having that relationship with that one franchise is going to serve him extremely well in his post-football career. Oh, yeah. He can come back to Tampa anytime he wants and do, whatever he wants, basically, right? And so I think that is something that is rarer and rarer in 2026 as guys move around more and more. And so I was a little bit sad when I saw Mike Evans leave Tampa this year, right? Because he was someone who was synonymous with the Buccaneers as well. I'd hoped that he was going to be able to find a way to stay there and finish out his career there. Obviously, that didn't work out for Mike Evans, but I'm really glad he didn't just kind of jump around the last couple of years of his career, and go to wherever, Washington or, the Chargers or
yeah,
right, because it just wouldn't have felt right. And I love watching those guys who have that career just with one team and are managed to stay relevant and important teammates for that sustained length of time.
100%, man. NFL, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. First ballot.
Hands
Hall of
down.
Fame. That committee.
Boy,
y'all already done messed over Bill Belichick and everything.
They're on a hot seat.
Yeah, don't mess this one up, man. The numbers are there. Everything is there. Pros pro, no issues, man. It's just clear as day. Clear as day, first ballot Hall of Famer, man.
I wonder how often they refresh that committee. We might need some impeachments here soon. Some people need to give up their seats.
There's something going on. I don't know what the requirement is anymore. I mean, my goodness. The resume.
Too much ashwagandha.
Yeah. Oh man, we had some other NFL news though. We had Jaxon Smith-Njigba. He got him signed him an extension. I mean, we kind of expected this was coming now.
For sure.
Highest paid receiver in the league, had his best year yet last year, got him a Super Bowl, really led that team. I know they had Sam Darnold, they had Kenneth Walker, but he really led that team, especially on the offensive side. They had a great defense on the other side of the ball, but that offense went through Jaxon Smith-Njigba, so it's well-deserved. Like I said, I know there's been a lot of conversations all week that, they say he's a very good receiver. They said, but he's probably not the best receiver in the league at his current time, which that's all subjective. Everybody's going to have their own opinion when it comes to that. But based on last year, he was that guy. I mean, there's a couple guys that are in that conversation, but he was that guy. So I think he deserves that money. I'm sure he's going to keep rolling with it, man. He's a smooth football player. He's savvy. He is fast. Doesn't look like he's running fast, but he is fast. Great hands. I mean, you saw it on display at Ohio State, and he's done it, being the lead guy. And his first year really being the true number one, on that football team. He went out there and handled his business and took care of course football team. So well-deserved. On that same topic, got to bring the attention to the Rams fan here. So you guys have a receiver who's on that same
his
path.
name. Say his name. You know his name.
Hey, calm down. We getting there on the same path. On the same path as, the Jaxon Smith-Njigba gets a ton of targets, gets a ton of catches, makes a huge impact for y'all football team.
For sure.
Is it time for y'all to pay Puka Nacua
Most definitely.
$44 million a year?
Yes, most definitely. And I ain't mad about it. I mean, obviously I'm not mad about it, but you get that man, you want to be the high paid, give him that bread. Nah. you said it, right? With Jaxon Smith-Njigba, people may not say he's the best in the league, right? You got your Jamar Chases, your Jettas and whatnot, and we can have that discussion at length, but he's the best for what Seattle needs. And obviously what he did last year for Seattle was crazy, right? Best year yet. Took them to the Super Bowl, helped them win the Super Bowl. I think Puka's in that same conversation. Again, people, I think he's the best in the league because I'm biased, but obviously we can have that conversation. Like, people are going to say the Jamar Chases, the Jettas, the JSNs. Puka's not the best in the league, right? People are going to say that, but what Puka does for the Rams allows him to be able to ask for that much money because he's asked to do a lot. He's moved a lot, motions a lot of yards after contact, yards after the catch, being able to go up and get the ball deep downfield. Blocking on the perimeter. It's a lot of things you don't ask your top receivers to do, yet he does often. So, heck yeah, I think he's more deserving of it, and heck yeah, he up next. And if the Rams don't, boy, I'd be highly shocked, and I would have something to say. But no, pay that man. Pay him his money too. He's well deserving of it for sure. Especially for what the Rams are asking him. Especially for what the Rams are asking for him to do and what he's been able to prove. Get that man his money.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, man.
He next for sure.
He up next. Y'all got quite other, some young bucks that y'all gonna be having to pay over the next couple of years.
But don't be Jerry Jones, who you saw what happened with Micah Parsons, right? Mm-hmm. He waited to pay, and then couldn't afford it.
But here's the thing.
And then, so the earlier you make that extension, the cheaper it's going to be for
exactly.
you.
And
so
I already, and I, you know, I got some insider information. I ain't gonna tell you. We already working on it. Trust me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope so, man. I mean, the time is definitely right, man, and that's how it goes, man. Once one guy gets paid, then obviously that next guy who's in line is almost like a little pecking order. It's like, hey, either I want that equal or a little greater or a little less. Like, I don't know which way Puka Nacua is going to treat it, whether he wants to take a few M's less to, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say do that, but everybody has their own approach when it comes to that contract situation. But he's definitely earned it though, 100%.
Sorry, and I was gonna leave it with this. You know, the Rams, Les and Sean have done a really good job with being able to spread the money around, give the players that need that big contract, giving them the big contract, but also doing great with a lot less. Not saying a lot less, like we ain't got talent. We got tons of talent. But being able to play with younger players and being able to play with guys that maybe not making 40 M's a year, you know, 30 M's a year. Like we've been able to be very productive without that. So I think they're going to be very smart about it and it's going to work out.
100%, man. And we also had some big things going on with some former and current NFL players and some celebrities and whatnot, influencers and all that stuff. And the USA flag football team. We had the Fanatics flag football special, whatever it was called this past weekend. I think it was about maybe like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. We had, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but I think it's like Duchette, something like that, the quarterback of the flag football team from Louisiana. He came out and was outspoken that, you know, once they said there was going to be, you know, flag football in the Olympics in 2028, that their team deserved to represent the USA versus having, you know, NFL players represent, you know, the USA in football. So they oh, what up with the kids?
My dog at the depot.
We live from the depot with it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Fanatics, Michael Rubin, they put on an event and they made it happen. Allowed them to put them on display. What was y'all thoughts on, you know, everything that went down? Obviously, the NFL players weren't going 1,010%, everything like that. But there was a clear distinction of the way flag football is played and the way NFL is played. So I don't know what y'all thoughts on what happened.
Hey, fam. All I know is I think it's a complete difference between flag football players and NFL players. That's all I'm gonna say. I think if you do get NFL players, you know, playing flag football in the Olympics, I think there's gonna be a huge gap. You know what I'm saying? You know, no offense to the guys that are representing the United States right now, but I just think it's a difference, man. And I think, you know, you get guys practicing the rules, understanding the game and all that stuff. Like, I mean, that's how I feel.
Well, for me, I think if you obviously give the NFL players time to learn the game and work at it, there'll be a drastic difference and they can catch up pretty quickly. The game is unique. Like I vividly remember playing, you know, flag football myself. Like we had this thing in Florida called what was it called? Let It Fly, like a little flag football thing to where, you know, there's just some unique ways of playing flag football. You got dudes running, holding the ball at the same time, then one takes it when you grab the flag. It was some unique nuances to it. Just like how those guys are playing, fucking dipping their hips, swiveling. It's a different way to play that game. So it wouldn't be hard for those NFL players to pick up some of those same tactics with the practice. Like as of right now, those guys are not much respect to what they're doing. They're way
for sure.
hard.
Oh, for sure.
You know, now I'm not trying to denounce anything those guys are doing. They're special as well in their own right. I do think if those guys grinded at it, it'd be just fine.
Most does. No, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Any thoughts on the Perk?
What's up?
Any thoughts on?
Oh yeah, I got lots of thoughts. I mean, the NFL players got worked, like absolutely worked. And I think you see that flag football and NFL football are two completely different sports. And I see, you know, the value of having some NFL guys out there, but they don't necessarily know the game, know the nuances of the game. And I think that, you know, as great as it would be to see like an all-star player, all-star team of NFL guys out there, these guys who play flag and, you know, spend their lives playing flag, like they really know what they're doing. Like that quarterback, right? Like he was just, you know, tearing dudes up out there. And I think that, you know, it'd be great to see, like, I would love to have like a Lamar Jackson back there for Team USA, you know, right? Because I think you want a running quarterback. I think Kyler Murray would be incredible as the Team USA quarterback. But at the same time, like, I think even in this exhibition, I mean, the Team USA guys outscored the NFL players, like it was like 112-46 over 2 games.
Come on, Pert.
I just always the NFL players where they were not going.
Not at all, fam.
But I don't think. But also, like with their contracts, are the NFL teams even going to let them compete? Because you go out there and
yeah.
I mean, for the Olympics, it's gonna be different. That's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but if you go out there and I don't know, let's say Puka's playing for Team USA and you know tears his ACL, how you gonna feel about that? Playing flag football.
But it can happen during off-season workouts, so it's not.
It can happen during the Pro Bowl. You got guys. And again, they playing flag football. They're not really playing, you know, super crazy. Similar to what we just saw, but they weren't going full speed. Like. I can't sit here and say like, oh, they got torched. Like, yeah, on the scoreboard, but like you got some taking it a little bit more serious than others. Yeah. I mean, and you see that. But we think about it from a few years back, right? You remember Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill collided, right? I think during the Pro Bowl on a flag football thing, like stuff like that happens, right? Somebody comes down with a messed up knee, ankle, something like that. It's the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. It's you're doing a sport where you move around, you know, things like that. And I mean, you can't really get too upset about that. Now you're doing it for the Olympics, you represent your country and whatnot. It's just one of those things that like, it's just a freak accident.
Yeah. But the NFL players would seriously have to work at it though. They would not just show up 4 weeks before the Olympics and think they're gonna go out there, you know, and win it all. There's gonna be some other countries that, you know, really been doing it, that have some schemes and tricks that'll, you know, really throw us off a little bit. But you couldn't tell me like putting Tyreek Hill out there and having, you know, 9 NFL people trying to chase a dude like that, or Jahmyr Gibbs or Jamar Chase. It's a little different. I know the field is condensed and all that stuff, but it's a little, even like having Lamar at quarterback, like, or being able to have Patrick Mahomes, the way he can throw the ball, or Josh Allen, like having those dudes compared to, obviously, like I said, not taking away from anything. I think those guys from the USA should be in the game, in the mix too. I think what they've done is important, and what they've done, it should be recognized. And they took pride in that game. Like they wasn't losing over this weekend. Wasn't no chance they was losing that football game, which rightfully so. You know, men were prideful people. But yeah, a lot of respect to those dudes. It's gonna be interesting to see how it all shakes out. You know, when that time does come about, how NFL teams handle it, how current NFL players handle it, like whether it be like tryout, like the tryouts would probably be OD. it'd be if there was legit tryouts, it'd be crazy. But hey, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of trying out, man, Odell Beckham was a part of this little USA Fanatics flag football thing, and you know, supposedly, you know, he got a little bit more interest from some teams after them seeing him move around. Obviously, he had the one hand catch and everything else like that. Does he deserve to be in somebody's training camp or somebody's OTAs this upcoming season?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I agree. Like, why not? Especially if you need a vet receiver that is proven. Like, obviously,
I'll take him in Buffalo.
I mean, he stopped. Teams weren't looking at him after he tore his ACL. But I mean, like, you know how many guys come back from ACLs and can still be productive? I mean, he's early 30s. Like, he still got it. He can still move. I mean, like I said, teams that need a receiver, that need somebody that is proven, a vet presence, knows how to go out, play the game, can learn your offense and be a playmaker, you know, be somebody that's sure-handed, reliable. Like, why not? Like, I don't see why we're letting, you know, an ACL from a couple years back. Like, now he's been moving around on it. Obviously, you saw a little bit of him moving around in the flag football game. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was ready to go last year. Like, give him an opportunity and see what happens. Just get him at a camp at least, and see him move around in his scheme. Make sure he's understanding playbook and whatnot. But I'm dang sure he could be serviceable. I'd take him back in LA.
I was about to say, get him.
I ain't about to sign on that bag, but I'd take him in LA.
The bag is over. Yeah, the bag is over. Those days are over with.
Man, he gonna make some noise.
For sure. But,
I mean, speaking of noise, though, you gotta think what comes. Hey, I ain't saying it's right or wrong, but you gotta think what comes with signing a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. It brings extra attention to your team. Not to say personally he's gonna be a distraction, but it is what it is. There's just some certain guys that carry that type of aura, whatever you want to call it, whether they're not getting the ball or whether they're doing this or not doing that. There's going to be some extra attention on your football team. So it got to be the right situation.
But was Odell ever like that in New York? I mean, when he was with the Giants, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Look at Stephon Diggs.
For sure. I'm not saying there's going to be any issue. I'm just saying
for sure.
I'm just saying what we all know. Like as far as media, like if stuff ain't going necessarily the right way or this and that, like it's going to get spun a certain way. You know what I mean?
But do you think like him being, out of the game for a couple of years, obviously, we know what he's capable of doing, but being out of the game for a couple of years, being a little bit older, being a vet, knowing that can be an issue and that can hinder you from being on other teams. Like you don't think you see much of that, right?
No, I'm not saying it'd be from him.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm saying from the people outside looking in. I'm not saying it'd be coming from him personally, but you know what I mean. Like say he has whatever a good preseason or a good couple games, and all of a sudden like he's not on the field no more, or he's not this and that, or what I mean. We all know how this stuff goes with the media. They'll like, hey, well. Odell's doing this one game. Why is he not getting the targets? Why he's not doing this? Why he's not on the field a little bit more? That's just what naturally happens when you have a guy. That's part of the reason why we, with the Patriots, ended up, cutting Cam Newton the year we named Mac Jones the starting quarterback. It's just because when you have a guy of that magnitude, like if Mac doesn't perform well or one game, then it's like, well, you got Cam Newton as your backup quarterback, like why is he not in the game? It's just like this whole thing is just back and forth all year long. And some organizations, some coaches don't want to have to deal with that type of extra noise, just one extra thing they got to worry about. So it's a gift and a curse that some of these dudes have as far as, the name that they carry with them. But I do think he deserves to be in somebody's training camp. I mean, hey, if he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You even have like Jarvis Landry. He just started a podcast. Leonard Fournette, he's saying Dolphins call him. Dolphins receiving courses. It's looking a little scarce at this current time. I mean, their whole roster is looking pretty scarce.
Hey, give time, man. We working on it.
You bring Jarvis back? What you?
Hey, listen. This upcoming year, it's a rental year, man. Hey, we gonna bring in anybody who sees fits. You feel me? This is a year to test to see who fits in our system. You feel me? It's a new system coming in. We got to see who's gonna fit, who's gonna be built for our championship roster that we're building in the next 4 or 5 years, man.
Hey, Malik Willis gonna be our franchise, boy. I'm telling you.
He definitely can.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
He can do it, bro. And nobody's showing him no love.
Y'all just gotta have support around him, though. It can't be what it is right now. I mean,
it's not. It's a process, man. Trust the process.
No, I respect it. I told you, it's what y'all gotta do. Y'all gotta sell. Have a fire sale. Gotta let everything go. Gonna struggle for a year or two, and then hopefully, the next couple of years, make some good draft picks, some good signings, and boom, you're right back in it. We've seen it happen multiple times over the last couple of years with teams. It don't take long. It don't take much. You got the right coach, sign the right couple players. The Patriots had, a little bit of luck into it too, but hey, it worked out for them. We've seen some other teams do it as well, to where you turn things around in 1 year, you make the playoffs, and it's a completely different story. So it can definitely happen, but he needs some support though. Like this year, I don't know.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, he needs some, man. He needs some. Speaking of support, we also had Justin Fields. He got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. We had Patrick Mahomes. He's coming off his ACL injury, so he'll probably miss at least a few weeks throughout the year. Justin Fields struggled with the Jets last year. Gets traded, gets probably one of his final opportunities to kind of prove he could be a starter in this league, man. I mean, to me, it's a great situation for him.
Great situation.
You get to learn under Andy Reid. You get to learn from Patrick Mahomes, and you get to be around some other talented football players. I can only imagine what Andy Reid can dial up as far as playing to Justin Fields' strengths. I'm sure some of this play calling could be really good for him. Like I said, all you got to do is perform well about 2-3 games, and you'll be all right. Like, I mean, he's always going to have a job based on his athletic ability. Anybody will welcome that on their football team as a backup quarterback and for different packages and this and that nature. So that's not going to be an issue. But as far as him wanting to be a starting quarterback in this league, I don't think you can ask for a better opportunity. I don't know what y'all thoughts on that.
No.
Oh, for sure. I'll go ahead, Warren.
No, you got it, Ken.
No, I was gonna say I was kind of upset because I wanted Justin Fields in Miami. I didn't want Malik Willis. I feel like Justin Fields was dealt a bad hand when he came into the league. He never really had support. I mean, Chicago, yes, but like you need the right piece. Sometimes a different change of scenery, it helps the player. New York obviously didn't work out. Pittsburgh didn't work out. But you need to have somewhere where where a coach believes in you. I feel like with Andy Reid, I don't know if Andy Reid ever had a mobile quarterback, maybe McNabb, but I don't think he ever had a
not like Fields, yeah.
Not
yeah,
like
not like
Fields.
Fields, like just the things he could dial up with him, and I think it's a great fit for them both.
Yeah,
I got a
agree
question
with that.
about Fields. Could you turn him into like a Taysom Hill type of guy, where you have some packages for him, where he, he obviously gets design runs. I feel like he's obviously athletic enough that he can run out, catch the ball. Like I feel like he's someone who also has been, would be open to doing. Doing that. I saw a really interesting thing on Instagram, I think today, about Taysom Hill talking about how he made it into the league basically by doing special teams, because he was like the 5th string or 6th string quarterback, started doing special team stuff, and that's how he ended up getting his way on the field. I think it'd be interesting to use Justin Fields' athleticism and get him packages like that. I mean, we know Andy Reid's creative enough to do it. And, if he's open to it, I think that could be an avenue for him to extend his career, 5-10 more years.
It's not a bad idea. It's always whether the player's committed to it. That's always the issue.
That's on him.
That. Some people only see themselves as one thing and don't want to ever change it. I mean, if you prove it, you prove it. If you don't, you don't. They'll die on that hill. But to me, he can make an impact for sure.
I agree.
He's not a bad quarterback. I don't like how they're writing him off. He's not a bad quarterback.
He's not. But here's like you said, Ken, he got dealt a bad hand coming into the league. Like, I mean, at the time, Chicago was a dumpster fire. Had a front office wasn't that great, coaching wasn't that great. Then you get another not so great Chicago front office after they revamped everything. Then you go to the Jets, doesn't go well for you. New York is another dumpster fire. I mean, keep it a bean. And so you don't really get a lot of you don't really get the pieces that you need around you. Again, don't get me wrong. You got guys like Garrett Wilson. You had. He had Devon. You said what?
That's it.
But that's it. You're right. And I mean, in Chicago, you had you did have some pieces in Chicago. You had DJ Moore. You had Rome for. No, did you have Rome for a year? No, you didn't.
No, he drafted
Excuse me.
No, and they didn't get DJ Moore until when they drafted Caleb. They
drafted Caleb. That's right.
And so he didn't have those pieces. He didn't have Rome.
He didn't have the pieces. Caleb. Yeah, he didn't have the pieces. So I mean. It wasn't a good spot for him. But you got Andy Reid, who's been able to work with really good quarterbacks and have success with his quarterback, with the quarterback room. So he's walking into a great spot, like you said, an opportunity for him to revamp his career. The exact person I think about is Terrell Pryor. It's just like it didn't work out for him at QB. He turned around, had an amazing opportunity at receiver and capitalized, bro. Turned around, I think had like 1,000-yard season. Like the following season, he changed to receiver. Yeah. So again, like you said, Perk, utilizing him in a bunch of different packages, utilize his strengths. And I think that's what a lot of other teams didn't do, like getting him out of the pocket, moving the pocket, some sprint outs, design runs. A lot of teams didn't do that. They just sat him back there, which, again, you got to be able to do that in the league. But also at the same time, he didn't have the best offensive line either anywhere he was at. So you're expecting him to scramble and get out of the pocket almost every other play. So like you said, he was dealt a bad hand, and I think he's going to it's going to be much better, working under, the tutelage of Pat and Andy Reid.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And they designed to get the ball out quick for you too. Yeah, Pat, get that ball out quick. You got Travis Kelce back. You got a really good safety blanket. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, he'd be solid. And you got Kenneth Walker.
And
too,
you got Kenneth Walker, boy.
Yeah. That's
Now if it don't work there, it's on him. He got to figure that playbook out, and to read teach you your looks, all that stuff. You can be all right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking of Kenneth Walker, he was a bigger name that was signed. What free agent signing do y'all think has been the most underrated so far this offseason that can make a big impact for one of these football teams?
Ooh.
For me,
go ahead.
You go ahead, Ken.
I'm gonna go Mike Evans in San Fran. It was a big splash. I wouldn't really call it underrated, but I don't think it's getting.
I'm about to say.
I don't think it's getting talked about enough. How it's going to help Brock Purdy, because I feel like that's kind of what they're missing. That big play receiver that could just take the top off of the offense. Like, hey, fuck it, throw it up.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's one of the aspects they were missing, and they got that back. They got that with Mike Evans.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go Rico Dowdle to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, he had a great year with the Carolina Panthers last year. Took on that lead back role. Was physical, explosive, made some big plays. Obviously, Pittsburgh they made the trade for Michael Pittman. They still got DK. Got to figure out the quarterback position where they're bringing Aaron Rodgers back. But to get him, and I'm pretty sure they still have Jalen Warren too, to have that 1-2 punch, and then you kind of get back to that, that old school Steelers football. So I think that's an underrated signing.
I actually got two. I think for y'all, James, I think Kevin Byard, that signing wasn't talked about enough. I mean, you're talking about leading the league in picks last year, getting older, a vet presence in your safety room. I mean, I think that's going to help y'all immensely on the back end. You still got Gonzo, you still got Carlton Davis. I mean, that's just helping y'all defense. And the team having another leader like that immensely. And then back to the Bears, obviously losing Kevin Byard, but bringing in another young talent with Devin Bush. I mean, he's only 27, had a really good season with the Browns this past year. Got somebody coming in to fill in for Tremaine Edmonds, who was very productive for you. I mean, he can move. You got somebody closer to the ball that can fly around, can get into coverage. So, I mean, I think that's an underrated pickup for the Bears as well.
I got two as well. I got the bigger name. I'll go with Isaiah Likely to the Giants. I think that is something that Jackson Dart needs, is a really good receiving tight end. And Isaiah Likely, I think, proved in his time in Baltimore he's really good at that. And then I'm going to give a quick shout to the homie Dave Edwards to the Saints. He's been one of the 5 best guards in the league the last couple of years. And he got a bag from the Saints, but it's worth it, especially, they've shown that they are going to, go as Tyler Shuck goes. And their offensive line last year was suspect, especially on the interior, and they got one of, if not the best, interior offensive linemen available in this class, and I think that's going to be huge for the development of that offense.
Heck yeah. A lot of underrated pickups. I mean, a lot of people always look at the bigger names, but really it's some of those smaller names that end up truly be making the biggest impact for your team. Right. And we get a couple of those, guys that aren't making the 30 and 40 M's. Like, you got to have a couple guys that you bring in that fit your culture that can really shift things.
Malik Willis, franchise,
underrated. You can get in that bag. You look at that bag though. He ain't cheap.
He might win you 6. He might win you 6 next year.
Hey, but look, I do like Dolphins, man. About 15 moves, man. It's low, low key, but you gotta build a roster. And I like that, man. Yeah. They've been missing that for years, man. They go off big names and spend the money on 2 or 3 players. No, man. You feel me? Spread the love.
I respect it, man. All right, we go turn the page, man. It is March, so we gotta talk about March Madness. March Madness it's been pretty lit so far, man. It started off hot, man. Obviously, we had Wisconsin go down this game to High Point.
Bro. High Point went to see it properly, bro.
The High Point was a good basketball team. I will give them that. I mean, we should have been able to close that game out, though.
Wisconsin just decided that they don't care about letting High Point get every offensive rebound. It is what
High Point was hooping because they almost knocked off Arkansas too, right after that. So it would have been a tough challenge for us, but They was hooping. I don't know what y'all.
I want to talk about Arkansas though. Acuff, that boy can hoop.
Yeah. We're gonna get to him.
We getting there. Freshman. Woo.
He snapped me. Calipari know how to find him, man. He gonna find them guys like a hoop. Now, what's y'all thoughts from March Madness so far? Has it been good to y'all, or what's y'all thoughts on it?
Man, I've been loving it. I love watching them march, bro. I love watching the upsets, bro. Duke almost got upset the first round.
Yeah.
I made a couple I got Duke winning it all. So you feel me? My last part of the bracket is still safe. My Final Four, all the teams, they're still in there. I got Michigan, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan, Duke, Arizona. There's one more.
No, it's been good, man. I mean, hey,
Final Four.
St. John's in there still. You got the UConn still in there. Michigan State, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue. So there's
Iowa, fam.
Yeah.
Boy, that game against Florida, them boys was balling.
Yeah.
Nebraska looked good.
Iowa is winning. Iowa is winning, man.
They beat Nebraska?
Yes.
Nah, fam.
Yes.
Nah, fam.
Yes.
Nah,
you see,
fam.
Nebraska almost lost to Vandy.
Vandy's not a bad team.
They're not bad.
Vandy's not a bad team. The greats find a way to win. Hey, they 1-1 on the season now too.
Hey, you know who losing to third? Houston going down.
Duke losing
at home for the next 2 rounds. It's in Houston.
Lock it in.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. St. John's gonna beat Duke, bro.
Think so, man. Them boys do.
Them Boozer boys? No, St. John. I think St. John's gonna get them.
They tough. St. John's tough, man. They did their thing against Kansas. They got them boys up out of there. But
Tino's a vampire. Like that dude is never going to die. Like you're going to have to literally put a stake through his heart in order to do it. And he is. I mean, he's had a fascinating. What is this, like the 6th act of his career now at this point? You want to think about it. But those Johnnies, they play hard. But I don't know, I'm gonna disagree with you, Ken, on Houston, man. I'm rooting. I didn't pick them. I picked Duke in my bracket like you did, Ken. But I have Dookie Houston in the semi. In the national semifinal. And I want Kelvin Sampson to win a title so badly at this point. Like that's the team I'm rooting for to win it all at this point. Just because I think he's someone who he deserves to have that. He's had so much success as a coach in so many places, but has never gotten that natty. And I want to see that for him.
Y'all think we got anybody in right now that's on fraud alert?
Let's see. I don't know.
Iowa?
You think Iowa fraud alert?
What about
Maybe.
Tennessee? Yeah, I honestly, I haven't watched a ton of college basketball. I mean, I haven't watched Michigan State just yet. I know Texas done knocked off a couple people.
Texas, you could say Texas fraud alert. I mean, they were a playing game team, but I mean, the fact that they've made it this far, beat Gonzaga, that's an impressive win. But Gonzaga always chokes.
They sure do.
Is Michigan on fraud alert?
Nah, that team's too good to be on fraud alert.
It's some good teams left now. I think it's gonna be sweet. I can't wait to watch it. What does it start back this upcoming weekend? I mean, March Madness is always fun, man. But kind of before we wrap it up, man, we did have some news. We talked about Darius Acuff. He just signed him at Adidas. Reebok just signed him before he even gets to the league, and he's already signed to get a signature shoe as he enters the league too. So it's a little different. It's a little different. I mean, typically guys don't get that signature shoe until you start balling in the league. But you got Allen Iverson and Shaq. I'm pretty sure they kind of steerheading the Reebok company right now. So they're gonna take care of the dudes that's really hooping, and he is that dude. I mean, I knew nothing about him till probably a month or so ago, watching some of the highlights with seeing guys talk about him, and then I watched that game against High Point. I watched them last 8 minutes, and him and then the High Point, I get much respect to him. He was hooping too. They was going back and forth, but the way he took over that game and that final 4 to 6 minutes, man, much respect to him. Congratulations. That's a major move, especially getting that from a guy like Allen Iverson and Shaq. I mean, with those guys spearheading that thing, I mean, there's 2 legendary people right there. They know what they see, and everybody else see it too. So
The thing I'll say about Acuff is that quintessential Calipari point guard, right? Because the way Calipari wants to play is have a point guard like that and then 4 motherfuckers on the court who are just going to try to beat the shit out of you. Yeah. And that's what this Arkansas team is, right? Like, I mean, they just, they let him do his thing and then, let the other boys do the dirty work. And it's working. It's clearly working, but he's got the athleticism to pull it off, right? Yeah. Like, and he's vaulted himself into being, I mean, definitely a top 5 pick, maybe a top 3 pick.
I think probably number 1. Well, I got that boy hooping, boy.
I think the Bansa is going to.
I'm about to say the Bansa might be number 1, fam.
Get that. I'm hooping. My dog hooping. Get all that height and all that other stuff.
That boy the Bansa gas, boy.
If he was 6'8", that boy be number 1.
But he's not.
He's not.
The buckets. He gonna get you them buckets, man. Number 1.
Who does he remind you of? Who does he remind you of?
I don't know. He kind of.
I've seen people say Kyrie.
Look at his handles ain't quite right.
He ain't got that bad,
and he doesn't finish like Kyrie does. But he's not like the athletic freak that like a Derrick Rose was. Yeah. Right?
I don't know who he reminds. Maybe like a Maxey, maybe like a Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey, fastest player in the league, bro.
I know.
Like,
but
yeah.
Similar tight game.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say Nick Van Exel.
Damn. Way back. Go way. Nick was the truth though.
Them viewers ain't even gonna know who that name is.
Then educate yourself.
Yeah. Van Exel was the truth though.
What, the old NBA Lives and all that, boy. I used to go crazy with Nick Van Exel.
That's around the court.
Other name from back there, Kevin Johnson from
him too.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson was like that too.
Yeah.
No, definitely, man. No, we definitely got some hoopers, man. Excited to watch this. The ending of March Madness. I don't know who's gonna win it all. I ain't watching enough this year, but it's been exciting to watch once March has started. Appreciate you guys tapping in to another episode with us. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep showing love. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Money Down.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes, sir.